The downfall of Lionel Messi has to be studied, and I'm going to be covering it in this video. Messi is considered one of the greats in the football game, and there's no denying that. I'm not necessarily a fan of Messi or Ronaldo in particular, but I'm a big football fan, and I can't deny the greatness of a guy like Lionel Messi. However, ever since his arrival at PSG, his downfall created a whole mess, not only for himself, but for the team itself. Hope you guys are doing good on this beautiful day. My name is Neance, and I'm going to cover the topic of Lionel Messi and his downfall. Now, talking about his arrival in PSG, that literally caused the downfall of his career. Before Messi joined the team of PSG, he was doing pretty good, winning the Copa America, as well as winning the Ballon d'Or, all those accolades that made Messi have a pretty good year in 2021. However, ever since he joined the team of PSG, not only that he caused his own downfall, but he also caused the team's downfall, right? If we get into details, Paris Saint-Germain haven't won the Trophée des Champions for the first time in 9 years. Usually Paris Saint-Germain dominates any domestic cup that they have. However, they weren't able to win the Coupe de France. They only lasted in the round of 16s. They couldn't win the Trophée des Champions, as well as the Champions League, in which they lost against Real Madrid. It's fair to say that Paris Saint-Germain has been knowing real failure ever since Messi joined the team. To be honest, Mbappe and Neymar were doing pretty good by themselves, not specifically themselves, obviously them and the team, without the addition of Lionel Messi. Mbappe shining as always, in addition of Neymar being by his side, assisting him, creating the plays, and many more. Ever since Messi joined the team, the coach, which wasn't Christophe Galtier at the time, it was actually Pochettino, and the Argentinian himself, was trying to have Messi being the focal point of playmaking. You'd expect an Argentinian fully understanding another Argentinian, but that wasn't really the case, because not only did that hurt the team, it also hurt the player. Now, I'm not going to discredit Messi's playmaking, because he's a very good playmaker. He's one of the best playmakers in the world and of all time. It's the fact that Messi was being used as the focal point of the team early on in his introduction with Paris Saint-Germain. I believe that it was too fast, and if given the time for Messi to really adjust and adapt with the team, he would be having a fantastic 2021 and 2022 season. Paris Saint-Germain was overall a mess with the likes of Lionel Messi in the team. May I remind you the amount of players that Paris Saint-Germain had that were considered elite and that is still considered elite. We have Keylor Navas, we have Hakimi, Kimpembe, Ramos and Marquinhos, Verratti, Paredes, Neymar, Di Maria, Mbappe, and many more. You would expect the stacked team to be doing extremely well in either the Champions League or their own respective trophies in France, but it ended being the other way around, and that is because of the manager himself, Pochettino, and Lionel Messi. When Ramos joined the team, he was doing pretty well. We can't deny another factor that obviously plays in the role of his performance, and that is his age itself. Now, obviously, the older you get, the worse you become. That's naturally what comes with age, and we can't stop it. Also, players that are around his age usually go to different leagues to eventually end their careers over there. However, that's not entirely an excuse, because when you have such a big name in the sport of football, ages such as 34, 35, 36, or 37 is not a good excuse to use when you're known to be one of the greats and one of the legends in the sport. If we compare him, as always, with Cristiano Ronaldo, in which he is 2 years older than Messi. At 37 years old, Cristiano Ronaldo became the best scorer in the team of Manchester United in his first season, once again at the age of 37 years old, in which he scored 24 goals, 3 assists in 39 games. Ronaldo also won Player of the Season for Manchester United, 4 Player of the Match, as well as most Premier League Player of the Matches award, also won Man United's Goal of the Season, and was included in Premier League Team of the Year. Luka Modric, who is also 37 years old, playing the hardest position in the game of football, winning a Champions League and a few La Ligas. And here comes my point of age doesn't matter when you're considered of being one of the all-time greats. Everyone plays at their own pace, but it's clear as day that some players like Cristiano Ronaldo is just better at playing at a high level, no matter how old he is. Now, going over Messi's stats, that's when it gets really bad. It was without a doubt his worst season ever. In the season of 2021 and 2022, Messi registered an amount of goals of 11 with 14 assists in 34 appearances. Now, that's an amount of 25 goal plus assists in total. That is extremely bad considering his past seasons. That is not what a reigning Ballon d'Or winner plays, but that's including all competitions. When we're talking about Paris Saint-Germain only, he only had an amount of 6 goals and 14 assists, which results in an amount of 20 goals plus assists in 26 appearances. It's safe to say that his stats were horrendous compared to his previous seasons, like I've said earlier. One may say that it's because of his age, or maybe because of his new season in Paris Saint-Germain, everything was new to him, but that's not really an excuse once again, because Cristiano Ronaldo is 2 years older than him and also joined Manchester United in a completely new environment. Let me remind you that the season prior to that, which was 2020 and 2021, he had in all competitions, he had 38 goals, 12 assists in 47 appearances. This is a total amount of 50 goals plus assists, which is completely different than the season of 2021 and 2022. It's like he went through a complete shift, which is obviously from positive to negative. An all-time great will be able to adjust and adapt as quick as possible within the same year to be able to perform at a high level. Now we're gonna go over his current season, which is 2022 and 2023. Now, this season is quite different, and I already know what you're thinking, but before we get into that topic, let's talk about his season with PSG in 2022. He started his first 9 games with 4 goals and 7 assists, making his debut really strong. Messi was also able to score 16 goals in 27 appearances, which is pretty good. His shots on target was rising from 1.26% in 2021 and 2022 to 1.88% in 2022 and 2023. His assists only went up with also 14 assists in 27 matches for PSG and was on pace to be the 16 assists that he managed last campaign with PSG. His dribbling stats were pretty good as well. In the season of 2021 and 2022, he completed an amount of dribbles of 2.81%, but in this season, he was able to complete an amount of dribbles of 3.03%, which is fantastic compared to his previous season. Now, to be completely honest, those stats are nothing compared to the ones he had previously with Barcelona. So for that reason, I'm rating this season currently an okay/average performance. Now, going over to the World Cup, most would say that it's a complete different story and that he was reaching different levels, but this is not completely the case. In the World Cup campaign, Messi had an amount of 7 goals and 3 assists, which comes in total of 10 goals plus assists, which puts him in the top 3 players who had the best stats in the World Cup campaign, but he's number 2 just below one famous French player that's his rival for this year's Ballon d'Or, which is Kylian Mbappe. I'm going to be comparing the stats to see who's more in favor of winning the Ballon d'Or. Now, of course, you can use the argument that he won the World Cup, so that automatically puts him as the favorite, but that's not necessarily the case if we take into consideration of the previous Ballon d'Or winners, which was, of course, in the past 12-13 years was only Messi and Ronaldo. If we take into account the year of 2010, Schneider, who played for the Netherlands, was able to reach the finals, obviously lose it, but had pretty decent stats and also won the Champions League in the same year. That is automatically one of the contenders for the Ballon d'Or, and in my opinion should have won it. We also have Iniesta, who won the La Liga as well as the World Cup in which he scored the game-winning goal, should also be able to win it. But Lionel Messi was the one who won it despite not being able to win the World Cup and the Champions League. He obviously had the better stats and only won the La Liga and the Spanish Super Cup. Now, using FIFA's logic, Kylian Mbappe should be able to win the Ballon d'Or this year. Despite losing the finals of the World Cup, he had better stats than Lionel Messi throughout the entire year. Of course, the year hasn't ended and we have yet to know if Paris Saint-Germain are able to win the Champions League despite losing 1-0 to Bayern in the first leg. We also have to take into consideration the fact that Messi and Argentina were given 5 penalties, which holds the record for the most since 1966. It is extremely rare for a team in the World Cup to be granted as much penalties as they got. Now, obviously, Messi took all 5 of those penalties, in which he scored 4, which means more than half of his goals are scored on penalties. That has to be taken into consideration when winning a World Cup, because going with Mbappe, he was able to score 8 goals, which is the most in the World Cup, and out of these 8, he scored only 2 penalties, which is less than half of his goals scored and penalties. And mind you that those penalties were crucial because they were in the World Cup final against Argentina when France was losing 2-0 at first, single-handedly scored a hat-trick to be able to go all the way to penalties against Argentina. Individually, Mbappe had a way better season than Messi and should be the favorite of winning the Ballon d'Or. If you've enjoyed this video, Make sure to like and subscribe for more football content. And like I've said earlier, this is all objective as I'm not a fan of either Messi or Ronaldo nor Mbappe. In all reality, I'm a fan of Bayern and Alphonso Davies, and that's the only team I'm currently supporting and I've always been supporting. If you're a fan of Messi, make sure to write your comments below so I can learn maybe other things that I haven't mentioned in this video that could potentially change my point of view. Anyways, enjoy your day and take care.